Hello and welcome to Twenties Aplenty in our continuing weekly campaign, the Headhunter Chronicles, a D&D adventure involving random people that met on the internet. This week the group conclude their business in Catan City and head north to battle the dragon Mordash. If you enjoyed today's session, please remember to like and subscribe. Either way, we'd love to know what you think, so please leave a comment below. And with that, we hope you enjoy today's session.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe we fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So, when last we set off, we started with Marcus walking through the wooded foothills to the south of Catan at the edge of the mountains, coming back from an errand that he'd been undertaking. As he was walking through what he thought was just a nice quiet wooded area, he heard the sound of swords clashing and a battle. Being the good soul that he is, and suspecting that bandits were afoot and trying to rob somebody, he went to investigate, only to find some familiar faces, two of which were already on the floor. The group had been set upon by bandits, and Lucy and Cleo were already out for the count. Marcus didn't hesitate, joined the fight, quickly worked out who the main instigator of the attack was and attacked their leader, making relatively short work of him, landing a couple of blows fairly easily, missing with his dagger, and then the elf tried 3 times to hit Marcus, but Marcus just parried them away and then used his riposte to finish him off. Things got a little bit hairy after that. Farak went down for a little bit. No pun intended on the hairy bit, by the way, but managed to bring himself around and get back up. Amanita was on the brink, down to 1 hit point, I believe. But other than that, the group made short work of the bandits. After healing up and a few introductions between Marcus and Korsk and Fulta, the group looted the bodies, said goodbye to Fulta, and as they were looting the bodies, they found a note. And the note said that the bandits had been ordered by somebody, a representative of a group, whose signature was purely a black circle surrounded in a white ring. And it said that the Sorcerer's Circle had found the halls of Samara. He or she had wanted the robe for themselves, so therefore they were to attack anybody that left the halls alive, and if they found the robe, turn it to. The group had a little bit of a discussion about it and theorized what it could mean, whether or not the group themselves were a target or whether or not it was just a general letter. The group healed, had a long rest. Amanita went off to have some me time. Lucy a little bit concerned, especially given the change in some of Amanita's nature and physical characteristics such as the voice. Went off to find her. He found her sat upon a rock, dangling her feet. With her hood down, she noticed him, put her hood straight back up. Lucy was asking what was wrong with her. She said, "Don't know what you mean." He asked, did they need to be worried? She didn't know. They headed back, and the group made their journey back to Catan City. And during the way, Cleo used his Greater Restoration spell on Korsk and on Lucy to get rid of the effect of the clay golem that had attacked them. and reduce their life essence is the way I've been putting it, but actually their temporary reduction to their hit points. When they arrived back at the city, they had numerous errands to run, so they headed to the market square, found a statue of Zerith, and surmised that she'd been turned to stone. Talked a little bit about how they could solve that problem, and then headed off. They headed to Wondrous Wares. Varric wanted to know about whether or not Hugo could remove the cursed robe that he was wearing. No was the answer, but he was interested in buying it, should he be able to remove it. Marcus also asked whether or not he could if there was something to make him more intelligent, and he said he would have a look, come back later. They then headed to the temple, got conned, basically were charged almost 18,000 gold pieces for the effect of Marcus's curse to be halved, and the removal of Varric's robe of rustling. They then headed off to Egron's. They found out the crystal was ready, so they could now finally leave Catan City and return to Wood's Edge with the crystal. They said they would come back to do the escort mission with Harmony, the mute Dragonborn, and to take him to Dragonsfoot. They then decided that there was a couple of things to do before they'd head off. So Korsk said he would go off to see Sybil. Not sure if that's still the intention. And also the rest of the group would go and get the wagon, which required purchasing a horse. I'm happy enough not to roleplay the purchasing of the horse. We'll just pay the standard amount for it. 50 gold pieces for a draft horse.
It's not as expensive as what I was thinking.
I'm assuming you had a saddle and that anyway. Or you had the reins and stuff anyway. And you just kind of let it go rather than running off with them.
I don't want to be a party pooper here in this situation. I'm positive I cut the horse free and smacked it so it went. But
so we'll buy all the stuff as well.
I'll give them money for the for the is it the bridle? The reins and stuff.
So bit and bridle is 2 gold pieces. I'm assuming we don't need. And then you probably need saddle packs and animal feed and stuff potentially as well. So let's say another 20 on top. So we will say 70 gold pieces.
Cool. We'll pay the 50 from the group fund, but we'll get Varric to pay the extra 20 for his part.
I just thought it might be better to let the horse go than it die in front of the carriage and we all get stuck behind it. Just saying.
That horse went on to greater things.
It went off to the horse meat factory. That's where it went.
God. Yeah, I'm going to say that for Core's side, he just goes to catch up Sybil on what happened in the halls of Smara, and that's it for now.
Well, we all need to go see Sybil anyway. She threw us a fat chunk of money.
Okay. So should we assume you go and see Sybil?
Okay. So
you head off towards Wizards College into the... Let me change the map. Into the triangular building that we highlighted previously. So, and don't forget you've got stuff at the refugee camp as well. Because that has effectively been your base, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. For ease of thing, I'm assuming the cart was still at the casting. So you've headed into the arcane abodes. I'm assuming you picked up the cart and bought the horse, and then you've headed off to the Wizards College. And I think it was it the left-hand triangular building was the Necromancy College, I believe. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I knew it was one of the triangular ones. So you head into that kind of dark, bricked building with the green tinge to it. down into the basement. You hear the thudding of heavy footsteps. And you reach the doorway of Sybil's lab. Open it up and you see this large, hulking figure stepping around. A little bit larger than the normal basils that you would deal with, that she does. That it's larger than a human. Looks like a Goliath that's been reanimated, and she's struggling to control it. You can just hear this, and she's like, "No, perhaps we better go outside." And she's kind of like trying to get this hulking, great, reanimated corpse of a Goliath out of the lab as you kind of, and she's like, just one moment. Let me just one moment. And she kind of, come with me, and she pulls out this Goliath and she heads down the corridor a little bit to this doorway, and she casts something on the handle and it pops open, and she shoves the Goliath in, and you can just see that it's full of like dusty equipment and the odd potion bottle and herbs being hung to dry, and she kind of casts something on him to kind of freeze him in place momentarily while she shuts the door, and then you just hear on the door. Sorry about that. I had to replace one of the basils. I'm just trying to experiment with new ideas. You see?
I hope you can pay for the glassware at the end.
Yes. Well. Let's just hope he only smashes the empty ones, eh? So, how are we all? Did we find anything at your location? Your destination that we talked about previously?
I think we might have. Lucy?
Lucy is staying quiet, said maybe.
Okay.
If we have, do you have something for us?
Possibly. I got a nice cake.
I'll take that.
If I remember correctly, last time we came here, you asked us to find this coat, correct? And if we found this coat, if the number that kind of floating around my head in a minute was 20,000 gold pieces. Now, I'm not saying that was the deal, but I'm pretty sure that was.
I didn't know. I didn't say we were looking to buy it. I said we were looking for somebody not to have it.
Yeah.
If that means you benefit from it, then great.
No, I do believe you said there was some sort of reward for keeping it out of somebody else's hands.
I said I might offer you.
I seem to remember something like that.
However, as a lowly student student of the magical arts who only spends her money on ingredients to further her research, I don't have much to go by. I can maybe muster up 500 gold.
I'm a lowly student who received the Goldrick Award last year.
Sorry?
who received a grant last year, if I recall correctly. You were bragging about it in the with one of the other students a while ago.
Yes, well, as I say, that was towards my research. You don't get Goliath corpses in this continent very often. Lenny's got to go. Got to get hold of them somehow, haven't we? I can probably muster up 600, okay? And I might give you 2 bottles of greater healing potion.
Allow me to discuss with my kind group just very quickly. I kept turning my back to her, kind of held it from around. What do we think?
Sybil's the sort who can require some negotiation. If you want to attempt it, I have a few, well, let's call them stimulants that will help with that.
Lucy wasn't paying attention. He was feeling very protective of his new cloak.
Don't worry, Lucy, you're not having to give it up. It's fine.
I'm sure she said there was some sort of reward for just keeping it away from people.
That's what I thought.
Yes, well, I'm not going to pay the full price of the item now, am I?
Hey, this is discussion with the group, not with yourself, Sybil. Please excuse us for a moment.
Well, take yourself outside.
No, we'll stay in here, thanks. That's fine.
Do we know what the value of the item is? She said she won't pay the full value. We could get partial value.
Well, she's kind of in a place of you've benefited from the expedition. She's happy to. Yeah, you got the robe.
She doesn't know that.
She doesn't know that.
She doesn't know what we got. We also. I died.
Two of you. Well, clearly one of you is wearing a new robe, though.
Yeah, but that's just a robe of rustling, like that.
It's just a fashion statement.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing that again. That's
He's
not
wearing
that. That's gone. That's in the past.
So, I mean, she would notice that something has changed, and ultimately, you've done the job. She's not really got anything to. She suspects you've done the job, or else why else would you come back? So she's not really got much to lose because you've already done it.
All right. If you're not willing to pay at least 800... No, hold on.
Sorry to break the tension a little bit, but popping in with a meta question. If you want to make a persuade or intimidate roll, declare it to me and I will give you something to help.
What about a bit of extra research information to you, Sybil? I don't know if you have much experience dealing with those who may have been revived at all?
Dealing with those who have been revived?
Yeah.
A little bit. Not my area of expertise. I'm more of a reanimation type person, or healing, pre-death and post-death. Well, not necessarily bringing life back into a body, if you know what I mean.
Right. So potential research notes of a potential experience would be of no use to you then.
Roll a persuasion check.
Is it too late to apply the spell I was going to apply?
You offered it earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
But Varric I didn't hear Varric.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I kind of.
I'm probably going to say no.
Okay. I don't take no stimulants to. I'm quite charismatic anyway. That's.
The buzz is something to die for.
Persuasion.
Persuasion, please.
14. Not a good roll.
No, not, as I said, not my area of expertise, dear.
Alright.
I can look. I can throw in a third bottle, greater healing potion if that works for you. 600 plus a 3 greater healing.
Lucy feels like we can convince her for more money. Like two or three of us died a few times. I think some sort of monetary compensation should be in order. We have done the thing you asked. It's out of the hands of the people you wanted it out of the hands of. Lucy will nudge Korsk as he's saying this.
I'm assuming you're wearing the scarf, so
I'm wearing the scarf, but
okay,
but
all right.
Korsk,
So
yeah,
the request came through this time. Okay, what was the roll you're making again?
persuasion.
Okay, so that will be. Got to respect my spell slots. That is an enhanced ability on your charisma, so you have advantage.
So I have double advantage?
No, you can't have double. It doesn't stop.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
So the scarf,
Right.
when you're haggling, the scarf gives you advantage anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was double checking just in case.
Well, now we know he has advantage.
Only when haggling. 19.
That'll do it.
Look, 600 is all I've got. I can, as I say, I can throw potions in. Given your description of people dying, then I'm assuming health potions would be of use to you, so...
I think I may have noticed a couple of materials for potions of resistance back in that closet. What do you think about those, Sybil?
What particular resistance are you looking for?
Resistance to death.
Undetermined as of yet. Just the just some ingredients for broad use would do. I can whip up the rest. I haven't learned a thing or two watching you do it.
You mean you want to know how to make them?
No, I know how to make them already. I just need the core of the potion content, and then I can cover the rest of the specialty.
Okay. Well, I have a potion of necrotic. My specialities are necrotic and poison damage, so I could give you the ingredients for, instead of the healing potions, I could give you 2 of each.
What do you think?
I personally prefer healing potions for the group. I feel like we've went through a whole bunch of them in the last week or so. So,
How many is she offering again? Sorry. Just to check.
2 necrotic, 2 poison.
or how many healing?
So that's the ingredients for, and it would have been 4 healing. So she's just swapping them out, but it's ingredients for.
Is that just 4
for
studs?
I do have 1 bottle of acid resistance, but I don't have the ingredients.
Oh, wait a minute. I remember what it is.
How about the... So, Varric, how about the acid resistance, necrotic resistance, 2 greater healing?
If the group's all right with that, then I think that's a fair deal. At least then we get some healing and then some buffing ability. But
Because remember, I've purchased some supplies for us, so I'll make some more on the road.
Lucy
Anyway.
will say that he thinks poison resistance might be handy for a certain task we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cleo's just rolled a natural 20 and will probably say, green dragons have poison breath.
Oh, we know what the dragon is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a green dragon.
Okay, cool.
Well, you assume it was a green dragon given the name of the pub. Was the green dragon.
Yes.
Well, the underground
Okay.
speakeasy thing.
All right, in that case, two poison, 2 greater healing. How's that sound?
Okay, and 600 gold.
And 600. Sounds good.
Shall I put
There
them
you
in
go.
the pants?
And you can keep the cake. It's carrot cake. Carrot cake. It's lovely, but it's give me wind down there, if you know what I mean. And it's unladylike, so
You
I
worry too
wondered what
much.
the funny smell was.
You worry too much about propriety, Sybil. Makes you miss out on the greater things in life.
she turns to Varric and goes, "That will be the formaldehyde, my dear."
Ah, I see. Sure. Anyway, I think our business is concluded, so I want to get out of here.
So heads up, Korska's taking the potions.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll take them off the list.
Cool. So, okay. So you bid Sybil farewell. She leaves the room with you and heads back towards the cupboard in which she put the Goliath. As you come out the room, you hear a little bit of clattering, and she looks a little bit panicked and runs towards the door, unlocks it, and kind of starts pulling this hulking great thing out. And then she'll gather the ingredients and give them to you from out the cupboard. As this Goliath is just randomly walking into walls and stuff. So, would you like to do anything else while you're there, or are you going to skedaddle?
There's a thing we still need to do before we leave, though, which is buy the diamonds.
Okay.
And then collect the stuff from the refugee camp as well, which I guess we can do once we've got the crystal.
Okay.
Eric also needs to collect his clothes.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that I left them at the cleaning place.
I'm assuming you'll pick up the clothes.
Yeah.
We won't roleplay that. So otherwise I'll just be doing an old lady saying, "There you go, dear." Diamonds. Where do you want to get diamonds?
Is there not a jeweler's shop?
Preferably one we won't get conned at. Would be nice.
Did we ask?
We didn't ask Egron.
We didn't ask Agron.
No.
Just to confirm quickly, the stuff Sybil gave us was ingredients, right? So they still need to be mixed up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, might head back to camp actually and get started on that straight away.
Okay. We'll come to that in a minute. Okay, so you want diamonds worth 300 gold. So, there is a rock shop, which was where... No, you didn't end up in the rock shop, did it? The rock shop actually sold rock, didn't it? Sticks of rock. There is a jeweler's There is a jeweler's. So you walk into the market square. Across to what looks like... You remember seeing a jewellery shop. It's a little building with off-white paint. And in red letters above the door is a sign. It reads Coin Screws Jewelers Jewelry Store. What would you like to do?
Not go in.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Maybe Egron knows somewhere else we can get diamonds.
Yeah, I would much prefer to go through Aegon than...
Didn't the group acquire some diamonds for somebody?
Yeah, we stole them. From this gentleman's store.
Something in my throat. Let's go somewhere else to discuss these potentially valuable items that we might be buying.
Where you headed?
Oh yeah, then we give it to
in your show. What was that saying?
We gave it to the other guy. Can't remember his name.
We give it to
the one Lucy doesn't trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So to Egron's then, or should we pick up your clothes first?
Oh, I thought we already picked up my clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, you picked up your clothes.
So to Egron's, I guess.
He has egg on.
With the cart. We might as well, with the cart and stuff.
Okay. So you knock on the door and he's... Hello. Oh, I thought you'd be back tomorrow. Oh, very well, okay. Just be careful going down the stairs with Jewel. I had... Just... nice and careful, okay?
Alright, just very quickly, Aegon, before we take our jewel back downstairs, do you have diamonds here?
Not at the moment. Why?
Do you know where we could, or if you could, source us some diamonds so that we do not have to enter an establishment?
I may be able to for a fee.
Man, people in this town love their fees, don't they? Where would you get your diamonds from?
I tend to be more of a middleman. I tend to take the uncut diamond, cut it. There's a multitude of people that would request such a favor. Although, of course, very few operate in the open because Coin Screws seems to have a monopoly on jewelry sales in this city. Unless they're magic, of course, but generally they use the supply of diamonds comes via him. Of course, you could speak to somebody you may have procured some diamonds for, or I can put you in contact with another less shady, less reputable person that you could deal with.
I'm not sure, to be honest. How many we need is the question. I'll pose that to the group.
Can't hear you, Charlie. If you just said something.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I was typing. What do I do?
Thank you.
How much of a fee would Egron be looking for?
Well, I mean, a man is looking to recover his tower.
Paying for your tower.
50 gold pieces a diamond.
That's admittedly a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. But
What about a group deal if we were getting a certain number of diamonds?
He was speaking.
Say 10 diamonds? Just wait, I'm just going to see if Lucy notices. He does. You'll see Varric's face and go, 5 diamonds?
Well, if you're going to buy 10, then I would probably give you a 50% discount on my fee. 5, though, hardly seems worth it.
I would like to point out that we're looking for diamonds worth at least 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
Lucy will lean in, making sure Egron can't hear, and just say, "We've got enough for more than that. Just we can afford it."
But I don't want to pay him more money than I have to.
But that's what, if he gives us a 50% discount at 10, that would cost us the same as buying 5.
Oh, a 50% discount on his fee for 5.
Yeah. So we'd still be paying for the diamonds. The only extra would be his fee, and his fee it would cost the same as. So the fee would be the same for 5 or 10, but we'd still buy the diamonds themselves. But we can
afford 10.
Yep.
It would be 3,250 in total.
Yeah, I've realised Lucy's carrying a lot more than he's comfortable carrying at the moment. But yeah, we can afford that.
Alright.
Cool. Very well then.
What sort of time frame are we looking at getting these at?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's a lot quicker than I was expecting. Alright, cool.
Just pop back. I'll have them for you. Cash up front though.
Do we believe that he will actually get us our diamonds?
Half now, half then.
Very well. Very well. You want to roll an insight check, Charlie?
$19?
He's nervous about something.
Is there anything you want to maybe warn us about?
As I said, these particular people I'm sourcing the diamonds from are less reputable than you would expect.
Like how less reputable? Like me? Or like a coin screw? Or I don't know. Murderer?
I would anticipate less reputable than Mr. Coinscrew or Mr. Fastfly. Fastfly's maggot, by the way. Let's just say, ask no questions, I will tell you no lies. It's a dangerous thing. The more you know, the more danger we will both be in.
Okay. Lucy will just look to the rest of the group for a nod or a shake.
Marcus, do you have any particular input on this one?
I have to be entirely honest, I have not the faintest idea what's going on.
We are buying diamonds so that Amanita can cast Revive or Revivify on us if we ever go down. This man has a gambling problem, but he's willing to go source us some diamonds. He seems nervous, but not exactly sure why. And he's going to get them from some not so reputable people.
Well, he's given you a reason why you might be nervous.
Marcus is going to get right up in this fellow's face, almost like nose to nose, and just go, "Why are you nervous?"
These aren't the people that you would normally want to do business with, all I would say. Lives could be put at risk should things go wrong. And also, I do a lot of work for Mr. Coinscrew. I don't want him after me either. Given his tendency to reach out to the Assassin's Guild every time somebody upsets him.
Yeah, we're aware of that. Well, would Coinscrew be willing to sell you diamonds? Like if you were just gonna cut them for him?
He'd want to know why I would want them, and then in turn, why the person would not go to him directly.
We're,
A favour for an old friend, you're making us some custom jewellery.
no, because then that puts him at risk. That involves the word jewelry, and our friend Egron will die. We're just looking for raw stones. That's all we're after. If he sells those, then you're just our contact for finding out who sells raw stones, and you said you procure them for us. Yes. We don't need them to be cut. We just need them to be worth 300 gold pieces.
I would prefer to go down the other route myself. Or you can go and talk to Maggot.
So if you're scared about avoiding what's his face, you're willing to go avoid him rather than talk to him.
Look, if I deal with Coinscrew, he will want to know why I've got the diamonds. If he connects me to you, that will be the end of things. The end of me. If I go to Maggot, whose gambling den I've been known to frequent, it should be relatively straightforward. He's a reasonable gentleman. And he looks down at his hands to a point. And then, of course, we've got the anonymous option, which is a risky route, but I would say that they would value my custom. They would value my keeping my lips sealed on other ventures I've had with them. So, but as I say, I would need to keep fairly stum on who I'm dealing with, because if they know you and you know them, then they probably wouldn't like that.
But Coinscrew doesn't know Marcus.
Technically, although Jim wasn't there, Marcus was part of the robbery. Because it was like Jim went and then they did the robbery, and then because we were kind of midday type of thing, and then he went that evening when you got back. So
Okay. Guy who does know Marcus. Don't worry about that.
I don't remember who we're talking about.
No, it was about the time. I think you would. It was during the time when
Marcus had left when we did the
take a
robbery.
break.
It's the icy joke of my excuse for not knowing who it is Marcus just I don't remember who they are.
I mean, to be fair, you had a lot on your mind, seeing the poster of the wanted poster for your sister-in-law, so you were probably a little bit preoccupied at that point. So, which is it to be? Risky, not so risky, or the discreet route?
Well, I vote for either discreet or not risky. One of them would be best.
If you can safely say that they'd appreciate your service, I would say go to the discreet route.
Very well. Very well.
But half now, half then.
Yes, I will have the diamonds tomorrow.
All right.
And with that, he bids you farewell.
Unless you'll give him the 1,725 and walk out the door. Have we got the crystal at this point, or are we waiting till tomorrow?
You've got the crystal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going via the Green Dragon first, aren't we?
Yes.
So is there anything else we need to do before tomorrow, or should we just go back to camp?
So Korsk had already headed off, hadn't he? So Korsk heads back to the refugee camp. You hear the ting, ting, ting of Dunley Swifthammer's hammer, and then you head into your tent.
So Korska leans in, throws the flat back down, takes a pebble and uses his tools to put a brief enchantment on it, and just places it outside. And it's just a message saying, we'll be busy for the rest of the day. Please do not disturb unless necessary. Korsk. And it says that every time someone taps it.
Okay. So, despite that, you have a excuse me. This is Kemlin you here.
Of course, looks up from his tools like, and pushes back the flap. Yes, what is it?
Your group is still around, I take it?
Yes, they'll be back in a few hours. What's up?
That appointment with the Sorcerer's Circle you were after, I've managed to arrange an appointment. Time is of the essence. It's in a couple of hours.
Couple of hours. Okay, I'll try to get them together in time. Where are they meeting?
The Tower of Enchantment.
Tower of Enchantment. Understood. A question for Wayne. We can definitely get there. A few hours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Korsk will immediately begin packing all of his alchemy equipment back up again, and send Pyrite into the city to go find Varric.
By the time you've walked back, it doesn't take too long, and the rest of the group didn't spend that long at Egron's, although it seemed like it. Like 20 minutes. They're 20 minutes behind you, so eventually they get there. Your appointment is with a man called Fenestrad the Violent.
The violet or the violent?
The Violet.
Okay. Just check.
I heard the violent.
Shared violet as well.
Just to check. Just wasn't sure.
See, I just heard the Strahd. Nice.
Fenestrad. So
Strahd of purple violence.
yes, something like that. He is the sorceress head of the Tower of Enchantment, the School of Enchantment in the Sorcerer's Circle. So he's one of the outer towers. You've seen it. It is made of a very kind of light purple brick with it kind of glistens a little bit. It's got very tiny flecks of some sort of amethyst type jewel in it. So as sun shines on it, it seems to glisten. It kind of pops out amongst the rest of the towers. So you arrive back at the refugee camp. I'm assuming Korsk is there waiting for everybody.
Yeah.
Are you just turning the cart around, or are you doing something with the crystal? Or what?
Let's take it with us.
Okay.
Keep it safe.
While we're here, as soon as we get back, Lucy will quickly, don't need to RP it, go see the leader of the cause and get his sending stone back. Seems it wasn't needed.
Okay. That's fine. Kemlin will probably accompany you anyway to introductions. So, 40 minutes later, you are stood outside the tower. Kemlin has handed some paperwork to some of the guards, the kind of battle mages that hang around outside the towers, and you are given consent to climb up the staircase. These towers are such that they go down as far as they go up, but there is effectively one story per wizarding level, in a way. Upwards and downwards.
It's very similar to the College of Wizards, then.
It's exactly like that. Although the College of Wizards is more they're all across like 6 or 7 floors, so you get multiple levels on one floor type of thing. And it just happens to be the sections, a bit like the library I explained. There's sections of the buildings that are open to different levels of wizard. This is like a pure floor by floor, and it gets to the point of you walk in the doorway, and there's a spiral staircase goes up, and basically you head for the staircase, and you can see it's like a slide to start off with. There's no stairs there. It's only when you come across with you're given like a little token by one of the guards, and having that token, it basically turns the stairs into proper steps. And as you go up the spiral staircase up the outside of the towers, it takes you a long time, 15-20 minutes with a break in between, to get all the way up the 20 stories. At each story there's like a side, kind of halfway between stories, there's another staircase that goes up to you don't get off at the floor, you get off just before, and there's another staircase up which then kind of goes up or down. And so it kind of gives you a bit, it gives you a route to follow, if you know what I mean. It's only, the staircase is only steps where you can actually walk, where you're allowed to go. So you make your way up to the top of this tower, and you find yourselves in a little reception area. There is plants dotted around. It's quite airy because there's lots of archways that are like have windows, which some of which have panes out. So there's wind kind of blowing through, like a nice gentle breeze. Some of the plants. The first thing that kind of hits you is there is a strong smell of lavender in the air. But other than that, you see like purple irises and things like that are all kind of, and blueberry bushes and generally things with purple or bluey purple type berries or flowers.
Are they actually like the actual physical plant and not a conjuration of one?
They are an actual physical plant.
Looking around, Lucille just... Do you think we're in the right place? Very sincerely. Maybe we should have...
So, Kemlin's... I think so.
I mean, it's a very pretty place. I do like it. All these flowers and everything, they're so pretty.
You could say it's enchanting. So, in amongst the flowers, there is a lady sat there. Yes, can I help you?
Your flowers?
I tend to them, yes.
Boy, you take very good care with them.
I do a good job. It's what I'm paid for. And Kemlin's like, we have an appointment with Venistrad. Oh. Yes. The name is Aurelius and party. I'm aware who you are. Middle door.
Lucy would like to do something before they go into the room. It's going to cast disguise off, not to change his features, but his clothing. Just to make it look like it's a different cloak.
Okay. So, you knock on the door. Come in. Kemlin opens the door. No. Could you all roll a wisdom save, please?
So, Horse kind of appraises him very quickly, kind of just shakes his head and then sniffs some of the powder he's now got on his chest. And that gives him a +3 to the save from Flash of Genius.
Okay.
So this will be just a flat +3 roll.
So Varric and Lucy are definitely high.
Okay. So do you have... does anybody have resistance to being charmed or immunity to being charmed?
Where do you see your resistances again?
What are you looking in? If it's D&D Beyond, it's right at the top under your current and max hit points.
Somewhat ironically, this was exactly the thing that was worrying me the most for the idea I proposed last week.
I'm resistant to lightning damage.
Would Lucy have any... With how much he uses this particular spell, would he have any sort of advantage on that save?
No, not unless you got actual resistance or immunity to. Okay.
I don't have immunity to anything either.
Okay.
But I did roll well.
So,
Jesus Christ, +7.
in which case, everybody bar Amanita is charmed.
Oh wow, what was the DC?
I'm not telling you what the DC was.
I've got 21 here, all considered. Jeez.
Yeah, it can be quite high.
Oh, no, actually, Korsk isn't charmed. Korsk isn't charmed.
I was saying, good God, he's a good wizard.
You only just met it, though.
Good thing I have that powder now.
Welcome to the Tower of Enchantment. Who do we have here today?
Hey! Lucy, run up and give him a hug.
Yeah, hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. I hear... I hear your group is looking for some particular items.
Yep.
I'll go and search.
Oh, we've still got loads to find.
Interesting.
Yeah. Really, it's barely
And-
begun. So much to find.
And I hear you're from Westland. A lot of you are, or some of you have come from the Westlands. Is that correct?
I think it's just us two, and Marcus
Oh,
will point at him and Lucy.
We travelled from there, yeah.
Interesting. What brings you to these shores?
I actually don't remember.
A local war.
No, Lucy.
Driven away from one.
doesn't remember.
Driven
was the elf
away
kid
from
then.
one home. Sorry?
Well, the elves gave us that. He wasn't paying attention reading his book, but when Larissa did, he was doing something else, but he didn't really pay attention. So he really doesn't know.
Well, that means Marcus has to remember everything.
Hasn't written
Driven
down,
away from one.
but-
Driven away from one's home by war. Such a terrible situation to be in.
We'll come back at some point.
Hopefully you will. And your quest to find these items. Has it taken you far?
Not yet.
Interesting. Come into my study. Into my lounge, we can talk in a bit more comfort in there. And he opens a door to the back of the very small office that he's in.
Is there... What would we have to roll for clumsiness as we walk?
Or you want to put on clumsiness, so you want to...
No, it's just to figure out how clumsy... Whoa. I
Well,
sort
it will be a dex roll, but the DC will be very low.
Cool.
It's like challenge accepted.
I want to see if Lucy will fall over as he's sort of skipping towards wherever this guy is pointing for us to go.
Okay. Roll a dex save.
Okay.
You will need to roll a natural 1. Unlucky. You have saved. So, he opens the door. Inside, it is a wall. It is pitch black. And he just goes, he goes, Pepe, light if you will, please. You see this light emanate like it's like a yellowy green bioluminescent glow that fills the room. He guides you into the room and sits on a chair, invites you to sit on, they're like sofas basically. There's 3 or 4 of them. As Amanita walks into the room, the light suddenly becomes a level or 2 brighter. She looks over to the light and she can make out a little, in a jar, a little mushroom type character, almost blushing at the sight of her. It's nobody you recognise, but you do recognise it as one of your people, possibly from a different village. Please, have a seat.
Yeah.
As she stands against the wall.
What is wrong, my child? Please.
Don't like sitting. I want to stand.
You seem quite disturbed. What is it?
I don't like sitting.
Yes, I'll stand myself if I may.
Okay. So, we know you are looking for the artifacts of the domain. What do you know of them?
Honestly, not much.
I don't know anything. I'm not really a religious man, so I never thought about it.
Leo failed the wisdom save as well.
Yeah.
Well, we are here on a mission to explain. We are here on a mission of utmost importance to people in our homeland.
Punch Cleo quite hard in his knee, so he doesn't overshare.
Are you okay there? So we have been sent here to try and find these items.
I'm gonna punch him harder in his knee.
Will you stop that?
Am I doing any damage to it?
Our colleague seems to be a tad confused. It's probably the first time.
I'll assume he's took a couple of hit points.
He will not be charmed then. Damage breaks charm.
What? You were saying? His eyes kind of glaze over again. Sorry, what were you asking? I was asking about your mission here. I don't... It to help the war effort. That is all what I say. And it is strange to have Dragonborn and one of your kin, he looks at Amanita, and a kobold trying to aid a foreign land in this way.
It's a little xenophobic, don't you think?
Well, Dragon's Claw has its own war to fight, does it not?
It does. It does. But I ran away from all that a long time ago.
Indeed.
It will just be brushing the back of her head like going, oh, sorry, I don't know. Oh. Very
As you can see, as you can see, not all of us are bound by our stakes in war. We have our own goals to fulfill.
I want that coin.
Coin? Sorry? Oh. Oh yes. Ulrich's coin. You seem to have a personal interest in that, my friend.
So when I sent you a thing, so I'm not sure if there's an answer to that yet.
Give us a minute. Give us a minute. He would not be inclined to lie.
Okay. Do you know where
That doesn't mean you can't withhold the truth, though. So, you requested this meeting. How may I help you?
This is going to go quiet for a bit.
Well, I thought you were going to ask about a robe, weren't you? Asked Kemlin. Is that not why we were here?
Do you know about this robe?
I know about the robe. The robe of Samara is one of the artifacts.
We were wondering if you had access to any existing research on or speculations on its properties.
I know
think we were going to ask him if he knew where it was.
Well, the halls of Samara are rumoured to be in this region. The Circle have located a location where they think it may be. However, when we found the item that the magical robe inside was completely useless.
What was it?
Seemed to have no effect on those that wore it, I'm afraid. Nothing like the legend says.
Did it look cool?
It looked magical. It just didn't have any magical effects that we could ascertain.
What happened to
What
it?
I will say. Sorry?
What happened to it?
It's probably in the stores somewhere. In the central tower. What I would say though, is there is legend The robe of Samara is known to have been created by the Grand Sorceress, and who also dabbled in wizardry. A rare breed. She was getting on in life, and her mind was beginning to fade. Her body was beginning to fail her. She developed the robe to counteract these effects. The robe effectively seeks weakness in its wearer, and then seeks to rectify that weakness. Initially, it will act as on instinct, will look to protect the wearer, but then over time, it will gain an affinity to the person that wears it and almost try and improve their worst qualities to try and succeed in their desires. So, for example, if somebody who had no arcane ability wanted to gain it.
Wayne sounding like
Sounds like I'm
a weird daft boy.
I think it's you. You kind of glitched out a wee bit there.
did glitch a little bit. But then I glitched out straight afterwards, which was weird.
My internet shit back for a second, but it's fine now.
Okay. So what was I saying? So he's saying that what he was saying was, if somebody with no arcane ability on the road, then should they wish to increase or learn some ability, then the robe would work towards that goal. It does have its limits by all accounts, though.
Like what?
Well, it can't work miracles, can it? But you never know. You never know. The person, in essence, needs to still be there. It cannot be a case of the robe taking over. Art, the wearer's desires, need to be there. It cannot replace the individual's personality completely. So, just to stop there, could Amanita, if Jessie's still online...
She sent you a thing in general, I think.
Has she?
She sent you a DM of what Amanita's doing while she's rebooting her computer.
Alright, okay. So I need her to roll a stealth check while she's doing it.
Tell everyone had like Wi-Fi issues across the board almost.
All at the same time. So I think the issue with Craig lately as well is that there's a Discord themselves are having issues, I think, is the problem. So what I've done on this is I've changed the server from automatic from the voice channel to Rotterdam, which is the closest one to Britain that's not Russia. So I'm hoping that that's going to help the Craig thing. But there doesn't seem to be like a London server or anything. It just seems to be Rotterdam or Russia are the only two European ones, really. Whereas I suspect we might have been using like the US or something previously. So, but hopefully that makes things a little bit better at least. So, Let me just check my...
Right, just very quickly, guys. Give me 2 seconds.
Cool.
Actually, if everyone's okay with it, I can call the stealth roll from Amanita's character sheet.
Well, there needs to be a little bit of roleplay off the back of it, so I will. We can continue with the group if needs be. Let's just.
I mean, would Cleo have, once he's no longer charmed and knows he was charmed, would he have done anything after that?
Cleo? No.
Like, he was no longer charmed after Marcus damaged him, but then he would know he was charmed.
Yeah, he kind of... He was still happy to have the conversation, but was a little bit more coy on the information that he gave up. So rather than going into masses of detail. So he's explained a little bit about the robe, and what effects it might have. He'll add a little bit of detail in terms of, the legend says there was a great war between good and evil, and forces in between. I believe the robe helped Samara in her final days to push back the threat to her people. However, others that came to her aid turned out to cause greater problems, bringing down the end to that particular age, and the reforming, the reshaping of the world. Still, so Jess,
Yes.
could you roll a stealth check, please?
What I'll do is I'll roll the dice and I'll add my sleight of hand to it. I'll roll 320. I'll send you the results.
Cool.
So it's +2.
So you need me to add 2 to it.
Yeah, it's a 12.
Okay. So, as he's talking, Strahd looks up at Amanita. Could you roll a perception check as well, please?
Yep. What's my perception? It's +7. So I rolled an 8.
So, 15. As you begin to talk, to the fairy in the jar, he will look at you. You will notice him look at you. However, he makes no move to prevent you from having a conversation.
Okie dokie. Oh. Right.
So you approach the mushroom. I assume you're still going to have that conversation.
Yeah, she'll kind of like whisper, like still staring at him as she's talking to the thing. Just
So as you approach, he becomes even brighter. Almost like he's red in the face.
mm. Okay. And she'll just ask,
What are you doing here?
I'm with Fenestrad. He looks after me.
How did you escape?
He bought me. He looks after me.
I don't know. Fairies are supposed to be free, not trapped in a jar.
This is my home. He looks after me. What's your name?
It's Amanita.
I'm Pepe. I'm with Fenestrad. He looks after me.
You don't really get much sense out of him other than that. You seems drunk in his presence.
I don't like him.
But he looks after me.
I know you said that.
oh, come on, Discord load. And with that, Amanita will just like, yeah, she'll try and think of what to do.
So as he finishes up the history of the robe, Fenestrad goes, I see you've met Pepe. Poor soul. I rescued him. He was being sold by slavers in Draphania.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yes, well, he does seem to enjoy my company. He has his uses, as you can see. You don't see many of your kind around here.
Do you usually trap your companions in a jar?
He's only there when he needs to. When I need him to light the room, I ask him nicely to do it. He does it. He eats well. He plays well. He seems happy.
But we're supposed to be free.
Play? What does he play?
Oh, he plays in the plants that we have in this tower.
Oh.
He's built himself a little house in one section. I have a problem, you see. It's often difficult to ascertain as to whether or not people enjoy my company.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, I'm sure you've noticed I'm cursed with an affliction. A spell gone wrong many years ago.
No?
Unfortunately, my voice has a effect on people that I cannot control. It has its uses, but unfortunately, it's often difficult to have an in-depth conversation with somebody without them folding like a pack of cards.
Well, you seem lovely.
Well, I thank you.
You're okay. Your
Course
voice
will just lean up on tiptoe and then slap Lucy on the back of his head.
I find your voice a little more creepy than charming, if I'm entirely honest.
Yes, well, I find that if I speak a bit more loudly, the effect becomes greater.
Did Lucy get any damage from that head slap?
Just a hit point to bring you round effectively.
At that point, that's my thing.
I'll walk it off, Lucy. We'll deal with this later. In the meantime, we need to stay focused.
Lucy just has his fists and just crosses his arms in a huff. And just...
You have my apologies, but as I've just explained, it doesn't really... I don't have any control over it. And you feel, as he's talking, you feel soothed and a bit confused.
How'd you get that ability?
As I said, spell gone wrong.
Which spell and
Don't get
how?
right.
Asking for a friend.
Well, I would hazard a guess to say that you will have your mind blown if I told you. It is something that's as in the higher levels of this tower look to further our knowledge of.
Wayne, could you do a wisdom save, please? It's a stupid idea. He's doing it.
28.
Cool. So that didn't work. And you may know that I just tried to charm you. It was only fair. It was only fair.
Don't try that again, please. It is... You may not like the consequence. Now, have you learned what you came to learn today?
I believe so, and more besides.
Okay. So, what I would say is... Oh, give me a minute. Is if you manage to find any of the items, do let me know. And he's cast my mass suggestion on you. So you suggest a course of activity limited to and magically influence to 12 creatures of your choice that you can see within range and hear and can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to the effect. That's anybody that's Lucy and Cleo. I think that's already become aware that they've been charmed. The suggestion must be worded in a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, etc. cannot be done. Each target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action. The suggested course of action can continue the entire duration, so that's up to 24 hours. So, Varric has saved. Marcus has failed. Korsk has failed.
What are we doing?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom, okay.
Is that everybody? Okay.
Everybody bar Cleo and Lucy.
Oh, okay.
Is Korsk not... Korsk wasn't charmed either.
In the beginning, it's a new fact.
This is a new effect. So, everybody but Varric effectively feels the urge to tell Benistrad about and Marcus, who wasn't, about what was found in the halls of Samara. That includes the robe that Varric himself found as well.
So do I need to do the roll, or it's just automatic? It hits me.
No, it doesn't hit you.
It doesn't.
Because you saved from the charm.
Cool.
Because you've already been charmed and got out of it, it's fine. That's how I'm reading it. Whereas the others...
I will say none of the rest of you know what this robe I'm wearing does. As far as I remember. I don't think Lucy's discussed it.
But he's effectively done the command to say, if you find anything out, tell me.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't got anything to share with me, I suggest we say farewell.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah.
Lucy's going to try and start just ferrying people out.
I've pinged you, DM.
Okay.
Don't know how well this is going to work.
Okay. Could you do another self check, please?
Oh no. Oh god.
So you take this jar out, cast your fairy fire, and he turns around and says,
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Wait. If you brought this... Wait, first of all, does Marcus even understand that there's a fairy thing in the... I mean, you've spoken about where it came from, so I imagine he's fully aware that it's there now. If you have brought it... If you brought them from the slave traders in Drifania, doesn't that technically mean that they're just your slave now?
That he's the slave.
Yeah.
You understand it as, because you were charmed, you understand it as, oh, he's rescued him. He's a good guy for rescuing him. Look, he's even paid money out of his own pocket to do it.
I don't think Marcus would interpret any kind of slave trade that way.
Okay, maybe not then. But effectively, you wouldn't necessarily think that he'd purposely bought it from a slave trader. He says he's rescued it. That means rescuing it at his expense.
I've got to do this. With him saying that, Amanita just literally swaps the jars round and doesn't listen, and just constantly making eye contact and is now holding the jar. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this.
Pepe, would you like to stay? Yes. You look after me.
You can't trust his judgment if you have a voice that charms people.
No matter how awesome that skill might be.
Did you guys say that if someone was to hit you, like if I was to hit Lucy or something, he would snap out of this?
If someone's charmed, if they get 1 hit point of damage, they are uncharmed.
She is going to stare at this guy intently and then shake the jar.
Oh god.
I feel sorry for the fairy.
And then he starts screaming.
Still intently staring at him going. And she'll stop.
Leave him alone.
Oh my god.
Let's take him and get out of my sight.
Sure. Emily will exit the room but not take her eyes off him, just giving him proper death glare.
As for the rest of you, should you find any of the items, please let me know. That information will be invaluable to me.
Well, thanks for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you. Hope to see you again. Goodbye. And Vites gets some leaves.
Time to hit the old dusty trail.
Lucy's still just trying to ferry everyone out.
Slaps my knee. Well, it's about time, isn't it? That's it, so
what's Korsk doing, given you weren't distracted by the jar? You've had this mass suggestion on you, and everybody else.
unless there's something that needs to be taken care of right now, Korsk is heading out with the rest of the party. What I'm writing in chat is when we leave the building. So I have no doubt he's going to turn us into some kind of woodland creature if we stick around. I'm incredibly sorry as well. My brain went off somewhere in the middle of that encounter. We definitely didn't get the ferry out, right?
You got the ferry out. He just told you to go.
Okay, yeah.
So you got the ferry out. He ordered you, pretty much, using mass suggestion, to tell him if you found any of the items.
When he did that, Lucy immediately started to try and ferry everyone out as quickly as possible.
So for 24 hours, you will feel inclined to go and tell him that you found something. Assuming you know what it is.
Got to keep an eye on
Or suspect you know what it is. Cool. And on his way out, on your way back down the stairs, Kemlin's like, "He was a nice fellow, wasn't he?"
He was definitely a gentleman, if I do say so.
And Lucy will then say, "Sorry, Kemlin." Smack.
Why is everyone hitting each other?
That's what I'd like to know.
We were charmed. Some of you may still be charmed, so just a quick smack, and you'll be back to normal. Wait, Varric,
You just
mean
I'm
doing
going
this
to hit
as
you
well?
back.
Yeah, I know. So who hasn't been smacked? Who thinks he was a lovely man?
I do.
He was okay.
He wasn't a lovely man, but I feel like telling him about that cloak that Varric was wearing. The rustly one. I mean, that was a funny story. I think he would like that story.
I don't think we should go talk to him anymore.
Well, we don't need to talk to him. I can write up a couple of research notes and send it by mail.
That would be a good idea.
No.
It might be wise to have a real expert in the field look up on us, even if he is a bit of an arse.
No, I think he's an arse and he should stay an arse. Anyway, let's get out of here. This place sucks.
Indeed.
Before, as we're kind of, no, I guess I would have still been charmed. Where am I not charmed? Are we on the stairs? Or are we just we're just outside his building?
We're on the stairs down.
Okay. Are the plants still around here, or are they gone now? Or are they just by
They were further up. Yeah. So,
Send you a thing, Wayne. As soon as it was mentioned, that would have been after he slapped Varric and I guess Marcus, if Marcus was still charmed. So Lucy's waiting for the slap from him, and then.
So, aside from that, could Korsk do a perception check as well? I just want to retcon something.
Does Pyrite get to as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so Korsk and Pyrite.
Okay. So as you're going down the stairs, Pyrite's kind of like whispering in your ear type thing. And you noticed that so Ven himself had kind of grey hair, kind of down to his shoulders, looked a little bit greasy, to be honest, and yellowing in places, but had also had like a bluey tinge to it. Violet robes, and everything kind of looked a little bit violet around him. He even had a signet ring on, which had some sort of violet seal, if you know what I mean. So for sealing wax. And then the other, he kept playing with another ring as talking to you, and that was a strangely not violet. It was white gold, and it was like a crown. And inside the crown was a very dark black opal.
Rather like the symbol we saw on the letter, or was that the other way around?
Not as such, because this is just like, rather than it being like a white circle, it's like a crown, so you just get the bits that protrude upwards around the opal.
Okay.
But you could imagine a ring that would look like that circle, made similarly, but it was just a white gold around a black circle.
Okay.
So, you would see it probably wasn't the same as that symbol, but very similar. So you get to the bottom of the tower. Pepe at this point is...
Hey. Where are you taking me?
Oh, we will answer that question later, after we get out of this horrible place.
You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Lucy just leaves to them. Have we kidnapped him?
No. We've saved him.
Oh, okay.
Taking custody. It will depend a lot on what happens next, but I don't see Amanita treating him anything like he did.
Or forcing him to like her like that. That was... yeah.
If we can trust him that it was that it's a condition he can't control, even.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would she force?
Because even if he can't control it, he could still let us know by hitting us to wake us up from it, and he did.
His condition is disturbing indeed.
For just reference with everything that everyone has now said, and Lucy's still sort of believing Amanita's a child. He now believes that that Amanita has now kidnapped herself a boyfriend. And is both very confused but intrigued as to what's going to happen next.
As a comment, I think the words economy with the truth come to mind on that.
I would. Yes, I think we are skating a very thin line between kidnapping and releasing. I think we need to give the young gentleman thing, a creature, a opportunity to choose his own path, I think.
First, I need to speak to him.
Indeed.
Maybe with adult supervision?
Chaperone. As you're talking about him, you can see his light is just... as you were going down the stairs, it started to dull a little bit. as you get to the bottom of the stair, as you're leaving and talking about him, it just gets intensely brighter and brighter and brighter.
It is your new friend, okay, Amanita?
So
He's not going to blow up or anything?
he just needs to learn to control his powers.
See, this is
We are putting him
more and
into
more
a
like
new
kidnapping.
environment. We are putting him into a new environment rather suddenly. Could that destabilize his control?
Remember how I dealt with it? Give me some time, and I'll try and get out as much as I can out of it.
Okay.
Gremlin is kind of, I just hope, is this little venture does not will not come to regret it. I just hope the Brotherhood don't learn of this.
Why would the Brotherhood not like it? It's not like we did anything wrong.
No, but they have a certain position. They'd like to have a position of power. Part of that in this city means being in the good books of the Sorcerer's Circle and the Wizard's College. It's a fine line to tread, but I would rather their name wasn't associated. Their name wasn't tarnished, and their reputation with those bodies weren't tarnished. Still, I can certainly see that imprisoning this young being was indeed wrong. So I think all in all, you did the right thing, but I just feel that there is some... I just fear there may be some consequence to this.
Well, let there be. I don't agree with slavery. I think most of the group would agree with me there. If he wants to pick a fight with us about it, he can just come see the Headhunters, and we'll show him what for.
The approach could have been more subtle. Maybe we should attempt that next time.
Tried to be subtle. He was just... It's like... he would just like stare at me. I just had to take the chance.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I don't know that I would have acted differently in your stead.
So, you move on. Are you heading back to the refuge?
Finally going to sit down and make those potions.
Okay, and I'm assuming it's quite late in the day by that point as well. So,
and maybe write up a couple of research notes on the one of the cloaks, which I need to do a D3 roll for. Wayne, can you call a number, and that one will be the one that Lucy's got?
2.
Oops. Okay. It's the robe of rustling, let's say. So he's going to get maybe perhaps 5 pages on his desk the next day about a cursed robe.
Yes, I'm guessing within those will reveal the fact that you have been to the halls of Samara.
As Lucy wouldn't be asleep, will he notice Korsk writing this out?
So if you're going in to talk to him about anything, he's just got the alchemy set. He's not going to tell you to get lost or anything.
you are in separate tents. So it would seem a bit odd for you to go and lie in his tent for the evening.
Well,
That few hours.
I don't know. Wait, let me just flip a coin to see if I would try.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Cool. So, you rest for the evening. Is there any? You get back to the camp. Corsica's going to start doing some stuff. Does anybody else want to do anything before they retire for the evening?
Barak would just like to sit by the fire, not sit by the fire and change. He'll go into his tent, change back into his normal military kit, all nice and clean. Polish up the little bits of thin armor that he usually wears on it and stuff. Yeah, they're all looking good.
Cool. So, yes, I got your first message. I just seen the second one. Okay, fine. So in terms of the first bit about background and things like that, he has similar to you. His village was attacked by similar creatures. However, these ones were of a different element. However, this has nothing to do with the shininess. That is a natural thing in his village, where they are all their disguises are based on bioluminescent mushrooms. So his name, as Benestrad indicated, is Pepe. He is, when he turns into his natural form, he's a little bit taller than Amanita, but his hat is narrower and more pointy. So it's a bit like that type of shape. And he's a bit gangly as well. So quite thin and looks tall when you look at him, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's similar size to Amanita, just kind of a head taller maybe. He is just confused about the whole experience. He knows some of his people are still alive. He had seen others of your kind that are still alive and were being sold alongside him. He travelled overseas to get where he was, where Benestrad had found him. He has since been on a boat to a distant land and back several times. Benestrad doesn't spend much time in Catan City. And you gather that although Benestrad treated him as a glorified lamb, he did keep him well fed and warm and looked after. You got the impression that there was some care taken for him, albeit the intention probably wasn't best placed. You know, he doesn't feel as though he's been mistreated as such.
Yeah.
He has felt as though potentially a bit of a prisoner in a open prison type of thing. A bit more, well, not necessarily an open prison, but a low security prison. But he's not felt inclined to want to leave until he's been separated from Benistrad.
Okie dokie. With that, obviously showing him all the stuff about sharing information as well.
Yep.
We'll then say to him, it's that basically she'll ask him if he has anywhere to go, and if not, she'll go say that she'll just say, "Are you going to head off or do you plan?"
I don't know. I've heard the elves are nice.
That might be the best
The
decision.
elf that's with you seems nice.
The problem is with our group, it's best we stay. It's best if you stay with the elves instead. Our group tend to get in a lot of trouble.
I wouldn't want that. Okay. I'll talk to your elf friend and see where he thinks I should go.
Agreed.
He just kind of looks at his knees. He's sat down at the time. His hands around his knees, just kind of looking at his knees and thinking carefully.
She will pat his shoulder and go and say to him I would suggest if you want to speak to him, go and speak to him now before he sleeps. And as I said, keep this between us.
Okay.
And he heads out the tent. And you can hear faint voices in the background of him and Cleo talking.
Was any of that conversation within earshot of any of us?
Any of which conversation?
The one that we were having together.
The one with
The one with Anna-Manita.
Depends. Were you actively seeking out to fight? Were you actively being nosy?
Concerning Amanita, yes. Lucy's still, I believe I said, would be keeping an eye on her for a while.
So do a perception check then, please.
No.
The dice don't want.
No.
It's kind of.
I really don't.
The conversation is so high pitched in places. It's like a dog whistle, and it's just beyond the frequency of your hearing.
Okay. Then did Lucy notice Pepe leave Amanita's tent?
Yes.
Then as he walks out, Lucy will just do an audible "Aww."
You just see him ignore you, but as you walk on, he just lights up slightly.
Oh, he's flashing.
And then he disappears into Leo's tent. Cool, right. So, Anybody else want to do anything before they go to sleep?
When's a good time to see how many hours are spent on the potion making?
Okay. I'm assuming you need to sleep as well.
Yeah.
So I would say it's probably about 8 o'clock at night. You reach the camp. So I would guess you get up at like 7 in the morning or something. So you need 8 hours sleep. Sleep 3 hours. Or at a push.
Yeah, we'll just wait until we're traveling on that.
Cool. So, any other business in Catan City, or you head?
Let's go.
Let's go. So,
we need to get the diamonds.
Yeah, we need to pick them up first before.
Oh,
Yep.
So, I'm assuming you've picked up the diamonds.
Cool.
I'm
All right,
assuming
I'll take that money
you
off. Yep.
Yeah. And you then, from the market, you come out the north onto the North Dock, across into the West Dock, through the refugee camp, and away. Pepe, having had a conversation with Cleo, is going to accompany you in the cart. He's going to be taken, he's going to be taken as far as Wood's Edge, and then he's going to head north through the woods into the Elven Realms. Once I bring the map up, I can show you where that is. I was on the right map, right world. So, it's going to head. So, he's going to head up here, so kind of probably to Loth Serin initially.
Are those elven settlements, are they?
Yeah, blue elven settlements. So the Elven Realms, or the Wood Elves, effectively, are their nation is kind of split across the water. So you've got some in the Westlands and some in northern Catan. So, which way do you want to go? So, on the way there, you decided to go through the woods, through Erin's Mouth, round the lake, and across Catan City. You can go round the bottom of Erin's Lake and come out and come up via Dry River Hunter's Bay and then to the forest, or you can go back the way you came.
We should probably avoid Erin's Mouth.
Yeah. That didn't go so well last time.
No.
It was Erin's Key that you had the issues with.
Well, maybe we should avoid Erin's Key.
Oh, Aaron's Mouth was the one with what's his face, Bitey Man, wasn't it?
Yeah, Baron, what's his name?
Erin.
Aaron, yeah, that's the one.
It's only had all the places named after him.
Yeah! That one.
That kind of local lord.
He's a vampire.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could go like over, up and around to Erin's Mouth, and then to Hunter's Bay, and avoid Erin's Quay entirely. Erin's Key.
Were we not going to go
entirely.
to Hunter's Bay anyway for something? We were going to check something there. Who knows?
There's stuff we've got to do for Aaron, Lord Aaron, in the south, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming you're led to Aaron's Mouth first. It takes 4 days. It's relatively quiet, and you do camp out a few times. You see a couple of travellers on the road, but nothing of note. Cleo keeps studying a piece of parchment, which is a map. And those that see him looking at it will see that he's drawn some stuff on there. So he's circled Slave's Bay, or Slave's Bay actually, I've called it. He's circled the desert. He's drawn a line through this valley here. He has put a different coloured circle around Dragon's Foot. The same coloured circle around Canty. And then there's a big circle all around this area with a question mark in the middle of it.
Which area, sorry?
This area here. The forest and the lake. So kind of around Terra Lake, but below Lifea Bay. So the wooded area with a big question mark around it. And he just looks puzzled as he's staring at it.
I guess if he ever sees it, you would ask, you been holding out on us? Is that where we'll find all these things?
I'm not holding out, I'm just logging information that we've got. So, the Dragon Umam, I believe, is in a wood to the south. This area is a wild area. Suspect maybe there, or it could be in amongst this area. But I think these are two. It's the edge of the jungle, and the kobolds live there. So I would have expected that if Korsk had heard of some dragon named Umam, he would have said that there was one near his homeland, unless he's holding out on us, but I doubt it. So I suspect Umam is around that area. Canty, we know, is the home of the bloodsmiths that Baron Erin has asked us to pursue. We need to take Harmony to Dragon's Foot. We know that Ulrich's coin was lost somewhere in this area. We know that two things. In the sands of Terefenia, we know that there are the Gnolls. And we know that Gnolls were the traders, were the slavers that took Marcus's sister. And that we've been hired by the elves to investigate. We also know that the heart of Vandokar is somewhere beneath the sands. However, the slavers may also take us to Slave's Bay, as I suspect the Norse will take us there, or take their slaves that they acquire there to sell. It is a quandary in terms of which order it is the best route to follow. I suspect the longer we take in trying to find the gnolls, the more dire the consequences in the situation will be when we find those they took. However, then they took go to Dragon's Foot as well, and there are other situations that we've been asked to attend to nearby. So somebody's drawing on it.
I was trying to circle something, but it kept disappearing, and it turned out it was just a connection issue. So I just kept drawing, and they all came in at once.
Yeah. Although Yanathanor, what I will say is that is where Marcus was asked by
Larissa
to steal a sword.
That's why Marcus is walking over and just circling it on Cleo's map. Looking at it.
He looks at you. He looks at you puzzled.
It's a favour for Larissa that she asked.
Okay.
I'm a little pissed off that it's on the other side of the fucking continent, though. She could have told me that.
Yes, and the borders between Darfania and the realm of the High Elves is quite political and quite well guarded. We would need our best techniques to bypass that security, I think.
Or, just use our flying airship.
Indeed. They may have things to counter that, though. But we will see. So, I think we just need to... can I just say where that line is? That is not the valley. The valley is there, where the treed area is.
Oh! Which ones are
Here, where the trees are.
Yeah, so I'll figure out how to delete that thing a second.
I could do with zooming out on the video as well, so I can actually say. So we've got Dragon's Foot area that was circled of woods where he thinks Umam is. Sons of Drafania, Slaves Bay, Yanathanor. We talked about Dragon's Foot, didn't we? And that's the valley. So, I think we just need to plan our route. I suspect the sands will be calling as the sands of time drift through the hourglass. We should head out in that direction. I think we may need to go to Dragon's Foot first, so we might do Dragon's Foot, then the valley, then Darfania. Maybe pop by to do Marcus's errand for Larissa and then head back. Of course, this plan may change as we discover more about the artifacts that we do not know the location for. I think we have the clue from Sanic. The clues from Sanic about potentially there being one in the with the priests of Dragonfoot, so we may be able to uncover something there. But then also something about the land of the giants, which I'm at a loss with. So. And that's where the conversation kind of fizzles off. So you're 4 days in, you're at Erin's mouth. I'm assuming you're just passing through?
Yeah, I mean, unless anyone else wants to stop off.
Yeah, no, I think we're trying to go straight for the certain forest.
Okay. Cool. So the quickest route is through Erin's Key. Just whether or not you want to stop there, I guess.
What happened in Erin's Key?
Let's just, to be fair, if as long as we keep Marcus under a cover and I disguise myself, they will be none the wiser. But Marcus may have nearly started a fight.
I think it was the inland, wasn't it?
That was the first fight. The second fight was Marcus.
Okay.
Was this the multiple... This is out of game now, but was this the multiple drowning thing? Or
maybe, yeah.
The same guy?
Yeah.
They were... Marcus's in-character explanation is they were throwing people into the sea who were choosing to be religious, as I recall.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm not a faithful man, but I think it's a bit tyrannical to prevent anyone from, finding something that they believe in or living a life that doesn't hurt anybody else. So I may have threatened to beat the alderman to death in front of the town.
Well, one of you might have punched him in the face.
I think Yinran punched him in the face.
Yeah, somebody punched him in the face, and it took a lot of bribery of alcohol. Let's just say multiple barrels. And then we were told to get out.
Oh, I threatened to drown the alderman. That's what I did. He was drowning everyone else, so I threatened to drown him to see if he would see God. Yeah, I remember now.
I think every time we saved the guy, they would just throw him back.
Yeah.
But, yes. I would say if we get into bother, we perhaps highlight the fact that Baron Erin has asked us to do a job, has he not?
Yeah, that's a good point, Cleo. Yeah.
Very good point, yes.
We're friends with the Lord now. They can't do anything with us.
Maybe we should punch them then.
No, that's how we don't become friends with the Lord.
Right. Okay. I will not do the talking.
I did get the impression, though, that they were, his people were much less reasonable than he, which I thought was odd.
Yeah.
Well, let's just see if it's a problem when we try to go through, I guess. But just to be safe, maybe Marcus, I've got a bed sheet here we can put you under.
If you put that on me, I will stab you.
Clean! We stole it from a place that was clean.
Marcus?
What was that?
And Korsk kind of just tugs at your coat. It's like, drink this if you get into trouble, and try to keep your temper under control.
My temper's fine. You little shit.
I know, it's just, you remind me of someone I know who has a very similar issue. And it's basically an elixir of disguise, so if anyone sees you, drink that and you can assume another form of your choice for 10 minutes.
I'm envisioning Marcus being so boring and dull. He's just like, shit, I need to disguise might just like him with a mustache. It's just like he's shaved.
It's like, wow, I need to change the potency on this.
Now I'm seeing
It's
Mark
like-
with a Poirot mustache.
Has anyone seen like Marcus Kruger's mustache in Vermintide? That's what I'm imagining right now.
Marcus Kruger. I haven't fucking heard that name in a while. I'm gonna have to look him up again.
I was thinking more like Hercule Poirot. Just like a really
Oh,
small
yeah.
curving one. Just a really small curving. No one will see me now.
Oh dear. Right. So you spend a day in. Well, you spend the night in Erinsmouth in the inn. Guests of honor. The having reached the town that there was a group of adventurers that were helping Baron Erin, and the blessed, and the proprietor and the landlord had been blessed as well, so by the Baron and his family, so they were feeling rather generous. Just reminds them of good times. Your presence just reminds them of good times. You then spent another couple of days heading along the river. That road is where you first met Amanita and Varric. You find it a lot different to what it was originally. The ice and snow not present at all. It's purely just a boring road. Very little traffic on that particular day. So you head north to Erin's Key. You get there. You notice it is eerily quiet. The streets are empty. Stark contrast to what you'd seen previously. When you got there and there was a crowd on the pier at the time of the drownings, your horse plods along, the sound of its hooves on the cobblestones, and every now and again you see a nervous curtain twitch to see what the noise is outside. You come in one end of the town, assuming nobody wants to stop, come the other end. And spend another couple of days. Sorry?
Once we're through the town, Lucy will sort of exhale as if he's been holding his breath. So, that was weird.
What the fuck is going on back there?
Think they drowned everyone?
Nah, I seen a curtain move, so
None of it just our presence, surely.
Something has obviously spooked them.
Maybe we should check that on the way back.
Possibly. As you head north, the next couple of days, you notice that in places there are fields that appear to have crops what was previously lush green with grass and had lots of crops on. In places, there are swathes of dying crops, death. As though something has exhaled a great deathly cloud upon it in places. Just patches, but very, like you get half fields gone at times. You get dead animals lying in fields. In certain circumstances, prints as well. On the side of the road heading into some of the fields. We've lost Marcus. Would you care to investigate or carry on?
Sure. Basically, as the party walks up the road through the fields, Korsk will occasionally stop to examine some of the decayed plants, and he'll also take a measuring tape to the prints.
Lucy will also be interested.
Amanita would try and cast Druidcraft to create a little blooming flower. Just see what happens.
Given what it is, Lucy would want to maybe figure what's going on.
Okay. So could you do some... So anybody who wants to test the ground and things like that, could you do investigation checks, please? Amanita, when you cast... Druidcraft, you note that the ground has obviously taken some sort of damage, but the plant doesn't seem to be withering away straight away. Korsk, you can see clear evidence that something has just poisoned a whole patch of ground. That's taken out some of the nearby. The giant footprints you see that there is a group of large creatures. You see evidence of one person having been struck down as well. A dead farmer lying face down in one of his fields.
Does anything seem familiar?
Nature check.
Ooh.
Every time you do something, that vision from a while back keeps popping into my head. So I'm just wondering.
Which vision from a while back?
The hanging upside down. The large...
Oh, right. Okay,
thing.
that one.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. We'll come to that at some point. No, these are humanoid footprints. But they're just giant.
Yeah.
Some sort of non-human but large humanoid creature has been roaming the land. The farmer that's face down, you can see the legs have been twisted the wrong way, so that they've been turned in the hip sockets. by force, by the look of it, and the bruising.
It's more than just banditry. They're killing for sport, whatever this is.
Possibly. It seems to have happened after the poisoning, though.
Yeah. Sounds like someone's taking advantage of the situation.
So you move.
Lucy just.
What's that?
It looks like dirt.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
It's like, of course, looks down to like a sample of dirt with some blood in it and poisonous substances. It's like, yeah, just dirt. Let's move on.
Yeah, so I would say that was on your second.
You got it for a second there, Win.
Yeah, cut out.
Sorry. You're on your second day at the moment. You're about there, just shy of the woods.
In the journey we took from Catan to see, roughly how many potions was Korsk able to make in transit?
How much time did you need for each one?
Oh, I don't know. I think we said something about the rules for this last session. Was it like... I'll look it up.
Okay. So you've done 4, 6, 8 days.
8 days.
Is the total. So I'll just assume you've done
1 day for each 25 gold pieces of creation cloth. Yeah, I'll just be doing the math for a minute.
Cool. So you finally so having done your investigation, you set back off. You finally find your way into the wood. Heading towards the clearing in which you found the 3 statues, the rock, paper, scissors statues. However, before you get there, not far into the wood, you find evidence of scorch marks on the bark. Bits of trees that have been burnt to a cinder.
Well, it seems like we're nearing the source of the disturbance. If this is indeed a green dragon, as seems increasingly likely, it would be wise to give me time to prepare these, to fully prepare our potions before we go in. I would like to request a rest stop for that purpose.
There was another thing that we hadn't mentioned. The one in charge, or what I assume was the Green Dragon, did mention he wanted us to kill another dragon. It was a black dragon.
Yes, that's the area to the southwest that Cleo had circled.
Mm-hmm. So Lucy was thinking, if this area is burnt, do you think maybe they got into a fight?
There was no evidence of, no evidence that I could see at least, of a black dragon breathing.
Black dragons breathe acid rather than fire.
It was
I would know.
Toxic substances as well.
Yeah.
You have so could you do a check, please, Lucy?
Oh, what check? Sorry, cut out there.
History.
18?
Okay. So you will recall that you fought a number of fire-breathing drakes prior to reaching the 3 statues. You'd been sent to, I think it was the hunting lodge. There was a mission where you were sent to dispose of some big lizards, and then you, from that particular point in time, you moved on, seeing some footprints. So you followed the footprints, and it took you to this clearing with the 3 statues, where you played rock, paper, scissors.
Yes. I forgot about that. I wanted a drake pet. Never happened.
So you would guess that this is evidence that you didn't get them all, and there are more left.
Lucy will go, ooh, maybe we didn't finish that job with the drakes.
Drakes?
Yeah, there were some fire-breathing drakes that we were kind of supposed to help kill. I guess we didn't get them all, maybe?
He tells me.
In my defense, my head has only so much room. Not that much room, but yeah, I forgot.
Is the fire damage around the area recent?
As far as you can tell, it's quite. You get a smoky smell in the air as well.
Yeah, well, something's not been finished around here anyway. It was fairly recent, I'd like to say. I couldn't give you an estimate, but...
Yes, I would suspect that the job that you undertook wasn't finished, but I would recommend that if we do stay a bit longer, we don't. If we do camp, we don't camp in the forest.
I agree. Just as a note to everyone here, including our current traveling companion, Pepe, please don't leave the cart for the time being. Stay in that.
Okay.
Great.
And I assume as we move the cart out away from the forest, Korsk will pull out a thread of silver wire, which is it's like you stake it, but it's also linked to some very tiny bells, and he will use alarm on the patch of road on the nearest to the forest as we set up camp. Actually, I'll just put that in the chat as well. And on the potion creation, it's actually a bit annoying. According to some searching, it's 25 GP per day of creation cost, and a single uncommon item is 500. So it would be 20 days for one of these potions.
Yeah, are you doing the Dungeon Master's Guide or using Xanathar?
I think it's Dungeon Master's Guide. I will admit I don't have that copy.
I think we'd agreed that we'd homebrew it, didn't we? So I think we said that it would cost you 90% of the actual potion, because there's got to be some benefit to you creating the potion in the first place. So the total cost would be, so if you're making a potion of greater healing, which I think is that the 500 one?
Both are 500.
Yeah. So if you're doing that, then it would cost you 450.
So
and
Yeah, it's mainly the time that concerns me.
Yeah, so I would assume in the 8 days, you could probably do one of each. So I would assume that you can so you can concurrently do them, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see.
Waiting for one to ferment or whatever.
Yeah.
Start working, the other one will it or whatever. So I'm assuming that you can do up to a limit. You can do so many at once, but it still takes you 7 days to do one, if you know what I mean, of each type.
Yeah, that makes sense. So one of each.
Yeah.
It's updating my inventory.
Yeah. I just don't want it in a position where you're going, I'm going to make 20 all at the same time.
Yeah.
But still probably reasonably realistic.
Yeah, my main concern was just having a situation where I'd have to say something like, so we've arrived at our destination, now we need to camp up for a month while I make all these potions.
So if you had access to a lab, for example, then I would imagine that you could probably batch and have the 7 days, but still have the cost for as many as you want, but that would have to be like a downtime type thing.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Lucy will probably take Lucy will probably take the first watch when we're resting.
Pirate will join you as well. He'll kind of just fly onto your shoulder and then just start nibbling at your character's hair.
Cool.
Just as a reminder, if he hurts me, he gets burnt.
Yeah. It's a pretty established relationship there.
It's more of a grooming type thing. It's looking for lice.
That's the thing with scales.
I don't know. Well, maybe wood lice.
Maybe. Are you trying to say he's got sawdust between his ears?
I said no such thing. I would never. I would never say such a thing.
So, could you both do a perception check, please? You don't hear or see anything. Who's doing the next?
I'll do the next one.
Okay.
Lucy will also do the next one.
Could you both do a perception check, please?
Yeah. Pyrite's homunculus, so he doesn't get tired.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And Lucy doesn't sleep.
So Balak and Pyrite, you both notice in between the trees in the distance, you see a burst of flames periodically. Over time, those flames seem to be drawing close. But don't leave the woods at this point. After a while, they stop.
I'm gonna ready myself, just in case. Like, hands on weapons, ready to scream if need be.
Lucy's just sitting enjoying the grooming.
Pirate's becoming Pirate's becoming very distracted now. It's like he'll just switch between grooming like.
So, every now and again he stops and has a bit of a chew and a swallow. He's like gold. Especially when there's fools around. So, You reach morning. What do you do?
Manita will just get up and stretch. Like,
Oh, I haven't had that much sleep in a long time.
Yes, it sounds like. Excuse me, Barry. Seems like there was some activity in the night that we missed.
After sort of finding something shiny to check out his hair, Lucy will notice Amanita stretch and then just eat some rations while staring. Just in case anything happens.
she'll just be sitting there, like, kicking her feet, happy as ever, like, swaying side to side.
So, Varric, on our strategy for dealing with this dragon, if it comes to a direct confrontation.
Yeah, just want to point out as well that Varric is still looking into the woods, like hands on staff and dagger, just staring just in case.
I'm down here, Varric.
Yeah, I'm listening, of course, don't worry.
Okay.
Full attention.
So I haven't made as much progress on the potions as I'd liked. Only got one of the potions of resistance going.
Right.
The good news is that through some of my homemade ingredients, I can replicate the effects of one of them. This will mean I won't be able to use my traditional tricks in that encounter, but I can get us all proof against his breath.
I mean, what do you mean your ingredients?
The ones I usually use when we're traveling around.
Like
alchemy supplies.
Ah, I get you. I understand. Right, yeah, well, I mean, we're going to be fighting, that's obviously going to be the general thing here, so will it stop you from being able to put up a good fight?
There will be limitations, but I should still be able to hold my own.
I mean,
I think it's more important that we have some protection since breath is usually the first recourse of creatures like dragons.
Yeah, I mean,
as a backup, I learned a new spell.
What's that spell?
It's similar to one of my other spells, but where the other spell affects humans, this one affects monsters and creatures.
I thought you were going to say it's a cool Eldritch Blast, but, you know.
No, it's called Charm Monster.
I see.
Just as a backup, I'm just saying we don't need to go straight in with that, but I could try it at some point, maybe.
Just bear in mind that dragons tend to have a very foul temper, particularly towards people who try to manipulate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a weird experience, actually, thinking about it.
Yeah, it is, I know, but, you know, in the end, we kind of we can either try and convince him to remove the curse and run away, or we have to kill him.
I think we're also, given the evidence of the surroundings, I think it's all also safe to assume that he won't grant Marcus release from the kindness of his own heart.
So, just to clarify myself in the situation, did he curse Marcus because he wanted you to do this job? Or did you annoy him and he cursed Marcus?
Marcus ate a flying sausage that turned out to be a lizard folk tail. And then I believe the lizard folk cursed him, and the lizard folk works for the green dragon.
Right.
I believe. I just had an idea, though. Seeing as how there may be some fire-breathing drakes around here, would it be handy to maybe try and get a couple on our side? I didn't hear that.
You might be. I was just kind of grunting and grumbling. You might be better asking Cleo or Amanita since they're more in tune with nature, and they can probably give you a more definitive answer on that. If they could have listened to us, then yeah. But I don't.
Point.
Yeah, I imagine all three of us
Wow.
turning around.
At that point, you are interrupted.
No.
No time like the present to check out the plan.
By a distressed Amanita.
So I'm turning around, sword, dagger, everything out.
So what's Amanita saying?
She would have shrieked and is like, no!
Did you kill him?
And that's where we'll end it. And that's where we'll end it this week.
No.
God damn it.
Cool.
Rip.
Yep, first thoughts are you have killed Pepe. Whatever weird kidnapping thing you have done, you have killed him.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good.